Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour Reading Show. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour Reading Show, Kelly Brickle.
Hello! Hi, everybody. We are doing the reading show today, and gosh, I know that it is just such a busy kind of vibe for me. So I'm with energy. I'm juggling the energy today. How are you today, Michael? And thank you for being with us. It's Michael Christopher, back in the house on the Psychic Hour.
I'm honored. I was actually invited back. Sometimes I'm worried that I'd scare people off. They're like, yeah, we'll have you back again. Yeah, right. No,
Absolutely.
I'm doing really good, really good. Started off the day with a long motorcycle ride, so that's my meditation.
Wow. Hey, Daisy. Hey, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. We're talking for a little bit, going into some questions and readings a little bit later. So if you want a reading, stick around, or you can pop down your question and we might go back to it. So, wow. Okay. So motorcycles. How long have you been riding for?
Oh my God. Since I was 8 years old, I think. That's when I first had my first mini bike. And that's when the obsession and the obsession started. It's like I don't think I could literally live without being able to ride. It's just, everybody has their thing. That's my thing. It's always been my thing. When winter comes here in the Dakotas, it's like I go into hibernation too, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? So
I noticed, and I had an interest in motorcycles when I was younger too, but now I feel like I would just not do well on one. So I've retired that interest, definitely. But a lot of mediums like motorcycles. Have you noticed that? It's like
I know a couple. I'll have to think a little bit more, but you're right. There's so many trends with us that do this work. This is a weird fact. This is like one of my very first teachers pointed out, and I think it was like her opinion at the time, but then we did research on it. A lot of medium psychics have some kind of like immunosuppressant, some kind of like thing with their immune system. Like mine, I had this disease or immune response that attacked my kidneys and caused kidney failure. There's people that have ADHD or, some type of that behavior. And it's like, wow, I never thought about it. But yeah, I definitely have never been diagnosed, but I'm ADD. I mean, you show me a penny, I'm off to, never land. So there's these little intricacies that we seem to all kind of have.
Definitely. Like there's these crossovers. And some people lean in certain directions more than others. So Daisy, hello. Jennifer, hello. And she's seen it too. I know that once I talked to a teacher from AFC, and I kind of was just like, oh, I have a monkey brain sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh, well, that's kind of like a defining trait of a medium. Most people kind of have the ADHD tendencies because they need their brain to keep up with spirit. Like it's almost like you need to be distracted in a split second because spirit's showing you this and spirit's showing you this. And you now gotta look over there and you gotta do 5 things at once. And you know what I mean?
Maybe that's my career. I did air traffic control for 33 years. And it's funny because there's a meme that I used to pass around, but it's absolutely truth. The meme said, my teacher said I'd never get paid for looking out the windows. And it's like, well, I won that one because that's what I did for 34 years. So But
Actually.
air traffic, yeah, and it's weird because air traffic control prepared me for this because it's like that's literally air traffic control is you're doing so many things at once, it just becomes a natural thing. So it's like when the mediumship kicked in, it was like, wow, this feels familiar.
Are you up in the tower then? And
I did
like,
both. I worked both in the control tower and I also did radar approach control. So, when you see the blips on radar, I did that as well. So
the flips on what is that
uh,
exact?
the, the blips on the radar screen. So you do the radar approach control. That's where you see planes from like hundreds of miles away, and you're kind of bringing them in towards the airport, and then eventually they get handed off to the tower. But that's the real short of it. But basically, what we're doing is just organizing the traffic flow because there's only one or two runways, so you got to kind of organize the flow so not everybody's trying to hit it at once.
Absolutely, absolutely. Gosh, that's yeah, no, yep. I don't have experience in that department, but I'm learning from your perspective.
So it
Definitely.
prepared me well, that's for sure.
Speaking of being prepared, because for whatever reason, on this Sunday, I feel not prepared. I forgot to ask you to link up your destinations. If you want to broadcast?
Oh wow, yeah. Let me do that right now. I seen the stream and I was going to, and then I completely forgot.
As soon as we went live, I'm like, of course I forgot to ask you. Of course.
And I looked right at it. I was like, I need to do this. It's staring right at me. I'm just gonna make a quick chat.
Yeah, do it, please.
Readings.
I'm thankful for however. Jennifer says hi. Hello, Jennifer. Thanks for stopping in with us.
There we go.
And so I love the topic at hand because everyone, we're gonna go into readings like in a little bit. So we're just talking for a little bit. Anyone who wants to connect to a loved one or a life reading. Michael specializes in the mediumship department. I specialize in the psychic department. Michael's doing psychic readings too. He's a specialty of his as well. Michael can just do it all. Okay. So,
I try my best.
But you have both a medium and a psychic here today to answer both sides or to give you both a little hit. So we're going to be doing psychic mediumship together and however we flow. But yes, a topic that you brought up kind of before we got on, which I was like, oh, that's such a good topic, was talking about experiences with spirit personally.
Yeah. You want me to lead it off?
Go whatever direction you want. I'm not air trafficking controlling the situation. Just fly however you wish. Don't crash though.
Oh, believe me, I've tried to back off my type A personality because I was in the military for 20 years as well. So it's kind of like I am just, yeah. So I've tried to retreat from that time in my life because I could be a little intense, but it's a work in progress.
Believe me, I'm more like that than not. So I'm having fun with you. I really am.
Yeah, that's what it's about. But yeah, really, because it's something that I get asked about. And I remember when this journey first started for me, I remember especially like how I became aware of this. It was John Edward on TV back in the year 2000 was like my first exposure to a medium, but he never really talked about how he experienced mediumship. So for me, it left me wondering, well, am I a medium? It was never a thought. Am I going to be one? That was not a thought. But I always used to think that mediums saw spirit like they saw people. So in my mind, if you didn't see spirit walking around or you heard them with your ears, you weren't a medium. Years later, when my road led me to this, I found out it's the complete opposite for a lot of us, that it happens in your mind. Because I don't see things, I don't hear things physically. It's all right here in this steel trap is where I experience it. And I think one of the things that I was almost I can't talk today either. Gosh, it's going to be a rough one.
You're doing just fine.
But I make it a point to talk about this with everybody because I want everybody to know that you do have these abilities. It just may vary, the intensity or whatever. But, I want to share my experience because I know a lot of other people experience things, but they probably have this false idea about what it is and what it's not, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. I know that when I first experienced psychic and mediumship, one, I didn't have a reference really prior, but when I actually started to experience it, and I would see people talk on TV about it,
Mhm.
because what you see on TV is not like you have a real life reference. Like that's different. Um, it was different than I expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's people are standing right in front of me, or I know everything about the person, and you learn those things very quickly within the work. Really quick, I want to say hello to Aspen and Jennifer and Anne, Elizabeth, Tracy, Joni, Caleb, everyone coming on in. Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for
Thank
being here too in the middle of the afternoon. This is like I know you wanna be outside playing, but you chose to come spend time with us. We appreciate that.
We do. And we have some people from the UK. I know Elizabeth, she said she's from South Wales, which is really cool. So it's
Hello.
nighttime for
Yeah, it's about 9:20 over there, if my math's correct.
that. I think that's right. I think that's right. I don't know if Wales is a little bit to the right, but yeah, it's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we were coughing before we came on
Oh,
together,
I
and
know,
now
it's like
I have to sneeze. Like, what is going on? I might sneeze. Everybody, heads up. But as I'm talking about my mediumship experiences, but the first time I started having psychic experiences, I'll start there, and maybe I should just let out the sneeze. Hold on.
there you go. Is there 3? Mine usually come in 3s.
I don't usually sneeze at all. It's strange. Um, and I started just feeling things around people much more intensely. And I would be like, whatever, I'm just very perceptive. I didn't think anything of it because it's a mind thing and it's an internal thing.
Mhm.
And if you don't believe it, you can downplay even something very intense. And so there was intensity inside, but I'd always go, there's always a rational explanation for it.
Oh, yeah.
Or that's interesting, but that doesn't mean that I'm having this type of experience. But the more and more I was in that place, I opened my mind to it, and I'm like, let me reduce my expectations. But so spirit really to help me to work with that place, they started getting me things within like my mind and like knowing. So I'd have like very intense knowings, or I'd have like very clear like thoughts, or they'd give me words, and a lot of time a person would be saying that word as I was thinking that word. And I would sometimes, naturally in conversation, tell me what you experience, because I'm just going from the psychic angle. If you're just in the conversation, you're like mind melded very
Oh, yeah.
naturally. So you might not realize that you're picking up on things. But I noticed I'd get like weird words, and I'd be like, why would I say that? I'm like, like my brain's weird. I'd be like, that sounds weird. And I would just like, I wouldn't like it. So I'd just shut up and let the other person talk more. Or I would just like think about, ooh, that's weird, because it was intense. It's
Yeah.
overwhelming. Spirit makes it overwhelming, so you'll pay attention sometimes. And I'll just be like, crunchy. Like, why would I think of the word crunchy right now? And then the person would be like, oh, like I just got these potato chips and they're just like so crunchy. I'm
And
just
you'll be
like,
like
they're potato chips. Of course they're crunchy. I didn't think that would have added to the conversation when I was thinking it at the time, but that was the next word or within the sentence, and that kept happening. I would be like, I don't want to say that. And then they would say it in the next word within the sentence. And it would be like something emotional, like an intensity, like this is how I'm feeling right now, right?
right.
I'm like, okay, this keeps happening. That's very strange. So that was when I was coming to terms with what I was experiencing, and what I couldn't turn away from. But that's just like a little tidbit. How about more from you two as well?
Yeah, so this really didn't kick in till I was 45, and it was after, a series of just craziness, losing 3 siblings, going through a kidney transplant. Um, so before all those, I was kinda oblivious to what was going on. I could definitely look back now and go, "Yep, it was there." I used to drive people nuts because the phone would ring and I'd be like, "Oh, that's so and so," and I already know what they're looking for, and
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy. It was just like but I never thought anything of it. Um, but that intensity you talk about, it's definitely there when it's like, "I have to say this." It's like, if I don't say this, my head's gonna explode because I need to just say this word. You feel it. It's like you have to let it out. Um, but yeah, it's I just this memory just popped in. So I was taking flying lessons, and I remember this was shortly after my sister passed, which really kicked all this off. So we just got done flying, and we're doing the debrief afterwards, and the whole time, the my instructor was talking to me. A friend of his was in my ear, like, I couldn't hear him telling me what he was telling me about the flight. All I could see and feel, again, in my mind was his friend of his, "Hey, my name's so and so. I passed in a car accident. You need to tell him it's okay." And I'm sitting here trying to ignore this while we're talking about flying. But that was like truly like one of the first times, and I didn't say anything, of course. I was just like, just let me leave because this is driving me nuts right now. But it's that knowing, like you said, it's just that feeling like you almost know when what you're about to say is gonna connect to somebody. It's the same thing, like and this is just me experimenting when I do this work and when I do a lot of training on my own. I don't know why I'm going this direction, but, like, I have purposely sat and tried to make up a communication from a spirit person, and my mind will not allow me to do that. It's like I put my mind in that space, and I try to create a storyline, and it's like, literally, it's a blank. And I was like, "That is just so weird and odd." Um, but I know it's like when I get something in, I know I'm gonna say it, it's almost like a feeling follows that it's gonna connect in some way. Um so yeah, it's just this weird knowing. But we all have this. We all have probably experienced these type of experiences before.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, the knowings, they're really, really cool. And I believe it's wherever you put your energy to, you can expand on it.
yeah,
So if you're like, I don't know, and I want to know, and I want to look at this area, you're gonna have more and more really cool coincidences, especially if you're already in touch with your intuition. I was really connected. So of course there's, I'm mentioning some like, let's say, more fun, more interesting,
yeah,
like stories. And I think that's kind of the open, as I talk about this, I was going through like a lot of emotional uncertainty, and I didn't really feel like I really had my place in life, and times were really hard for me. But I think I really turned to spirit and saying, can you just show me this is real? Can I learn about this? And it was really like a lighthouse experience for me,
mhm,
rather than I'm hit hard through something very intense through mediumship. It was like I was going through intensity within my life, and then it was like the energy was helping me heal and understand. And um, so yeah, some of the experiences weren't so heavy, like some of people's first beginning intros of like, whoa, like, and I knew I had to do this then. I was like, no, I didn't know. I was just like,
the
that's
same.
interesting, and wow, wow. And some of that maybe came a little bit later with other experiences. Um, but I used to be connected to like the weather a little bit at times as a kid. Like I would play around with it. I'm like, oh, I know when the wind's coming, and you could like kind of tune into like the ebbs and flows of the wind. And I started getting into that. I'm like, well, I did that as a kid. So as I wanted to know, I started to be able to kind of do that with the wind again at times, or I could sense when like water or it was going to rain or lightning. I'd just be like, it's going to happen. And I remember I was telling my mom once, because I felt very awkward with that. But I
Mhm,
would like try to have these authentic conversations with my loved ones sometimes if I felt they were receptive. And my mom is like, yeah, it's gonna rain. I could see, like, she's very logical.
yeah,
She's actually very like feeling based too, but she's very logical when it's like if I give you something uncanny, she'll probably give me a logical explanation, right? It's not
Yep.
like, wow, like, you're right, that happened. It doesn't come from that space. So I was like, I think it's gonna rain. And she's like, well, yeah, like it looks like there's clouds in the sky and it's kind of going gray. I'm like, well,
And you're
yeah,
like, "Oh, mom, come on, play along, would you?"
well, yeah. I mean, how it's just anything that you could notice. It's just like, well, well, of course it would be that way logically, right?
Right.
And like outside of time, it wasn't super logical, but there was like certain indicators, right? And I'm like, no, I mean, like, sure, but I think I can call when it's gonna hit. And she's like, okay, like, like, how do you do that? I'm like, no, I feel in tune. Like, I'm like trying to let her know this. And she's like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay. And I just go, I'm like, come on, I'm like, I wonder if this is going to work. But I feel the knowing coming on. So I just go, all right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then it just downpours.
Then your mom looks at you like, "Who are you?"
She was like, what the she was like, I was like, yes, there isn't anything possibly logical that could explain this. This is the best.
Oh my god, that is awesome. It is though, but it's funny that our mind does the same thing to us. We try to rationalize, "Is this real?" And, I'm a skeptic, I still am, but, and I fought every tooth and nail walking into this because nowhere in my, mind was I ever gonna be a medium. It wasn't even a thought. And then when it did, I was kinda like it was more curiosity, like, "Alright, this is weird." I remember the first conversation that I had with this psychic who I became really good friends with, but she was working on my sister's murder case. And this is, like, literally the first time that I actually said something I was thinking. We were having this conversation, and the whole time she was talking, in my mind, I'm hearing this male voice say, "Tell her it's Jim." And I'm, like, looking around like, "Where the hell did that come from?" And I ignored it, like, 2 times, and then the 3rd time, he added that he passed of cancer. And I'm just like, "Okay, Linda, you already do this, so I know I'm comfortable saying this, but I got this voice telling me that it's Jim and that he passed of cancer." And she's like, "That's my father." And I was like, "What do you mean that's your dad?" "Yeah, that's my dad talking to you." I was like, "What?" Um, so that's kinda like, "Whoa, alright, something's going on here." And she was actually the one that, like, pushed me into, like, "Hey," because I was like, "No, I'm not a medium. I'm not a medium." She's like, "Take this class." She goes, "I know this woman. She's a great teacher. Just take this class. It's a beginning intuition class." I'm like, "Okay." And it was like day 1, it was like, we're learning about clairvoyance. And again, my mind still said that if I don't see or hear physically, I'm not a medium. The first night when we were talking about clairvoyance, the first thing out of her mouth was, "Most people experience it in your mind as a thought." And I was just like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You will see an image in your mind." I was like, "What?" And like the light bulb went on. I was like, "Oh, so that's why that happens." And again, letting that sink in, I look back throughout my life, I'm like, "Huh, yeah, that's been there the whole time. I just had no idea." Did you mute or did I are you muted? Can you hear me, Kelly? I can't hear anything.
Okay. Can you
There you
hear me?
are.
See, it's what is going on today. Seriously.
I thought it was me. I
I
was like, "Did I hit something when I was throwing my arms around?"
there's some technology. I was turning to my side too to try to okay, here we are. My phone wasn't even doing something it's supposed to be doing while we're going live too. So I was like, what is going on? But okay, we're just embracing it. It is
Yeah.
also an attitude 5 today. And so that is chaos, unexpectedness, like off the cuff energy. It's very interesting.
And we dove in head first because we're in it.
Tobin head first. And it's a day of 4. And so well it's a 8 5 4. And so when you pair a 5 with the 4, you get even more volatility because the 4 wants structure and the 5 goes, no way. And the 8 wants the structure too. So yeah, some of the physical mediumship kind of oddities can arise. Interesting.
All right. We're living
Yeah,
it.
all of a sudden it muted itself.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, so in the house, Debbie. I want to say hi to Debbie, Opal, Stacia, Crystal. Thank you. There, Leah, Tara, Emily. I just want to acknowledge this comment really quick. She
Oh,
says,
yeah.
"I'm in the pool. I
Lucky
had
you,
on
Emily.
speakers." That's awesome. Hi,
Nice.
Joni, Tracy.
Hello, Joni.
Okay, so I love what you said, and then when I really quick when I cut out, I was saying, Debbie, thank you for giving us love. She's at a Paracon right now, so I was
Awesome.
like, I don't know how you do it, Debbie. You
I
know,
know.
you're around busy, and you pop in to say hi. We love you. Okay, so Jeremiah, hey Jeremiah.
Hey, Jeremiah.
And Crystal, yeah, we're going to be going into readings in just a second. And if you have a question, please pop it down. Please. Yeah, absolutely. She's seeing how good we are reading lives. If you want to play that game, I'm impressed. And if you can know what I'm saying while I'm muted, that's incredible. Yes, Debbie's a rock star. Okay.
She is everywhere. Debbie is like everywhere.
She is, exactly. I agree. Hey, everyone on other pages sending love.
Hello,
That's
Jennifer.
Cool. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Amy.
Hey, Amy. Hey, Amy.
So, Michael, you said something so important. You said, "Oh, I started seeing pictures, and my teacher acknowledged like that's mediumship. Like, pay attention. That's evidence. That's where the information is." And you're like, "Oh, I've been doing that my entire life. That's what this is."
Yeah.
I would get visuals a lot. I think I didn't really know how to pay attention to that when I was younger. And then I went, oh, that's what my brain's doing. And I got associated.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of people experience flashes,
Yeah.
as soon as you visualize, someone goes, do you want to go to the park? You think about a picture of the park. When you're connecting to a loved one, you get a picture of a loved one, and you tune into the energy of that, and people go, well, yes, that's right. They had brown hair. Well, yes, that's right. They were tall. Well, yes, that's right. Interesting. And you said, you don't feel like you came into it always in such a serious place. And I got to give you some credit, because you said when you're connecting to the name Jim and you're just like, what is this? You were giving a message for a loved one that someone had lost. And so that's very like deep and important, and very from a place of service right away.
Yeah. And it's something I always try to remain mindful of, because when we do this, it's easy for it to get lost upon us that what we're doing makes such a huge impact for people, because now it's part of our norm. My wife kind of always snaps me back into reality and just says, I still have problems talking about myself about this, but she's like beats it in my head. It's like, you need to understand how good you are at this. My mind still can't comprehend that, because I'm looking for other people giving the compliments. I'm like, it shouldn't be for me. That's something I'm still working on. But I guess the point is, it's just, I literally just sit back and think sometimes, just what we do. I mean, when you just sit there in your mind, try to get your mind wrapped around what is actually happening, we're talking to beings that are no longer physically here. And when you make that connection for the first time and a sitter validates a message, I mean, it's just like, that just happened. It's just, I'm probably more in awe during a reading than the sitter at times, because I'm like, wow, that makes sense. They're like, yes. I'm like, Oh, okay.
I think it's, it's an experience and we're not seeing everything all at once. We're just getting pieces. And
Yeah.
sometimes the coolest readings you're getting like overlaps, like, and we'll go here now and go here now. And it's just like this very rich experience because you're getting so much that it doesn't feel like pieces. But yeah, like we're following trails. It's not like we're like these knowing beings,
Right.
like, oh, suddenly I know everything about you. No.
And I have my idea of why that is. And one thing for sure, like you said, spirit communication is never linear. It's never like start here and work its way to the end. It's like it's here, there, there. But what I feel is happening is when their energy is connecting with our aura, our spirit, our soul, in that moment, we're aware of everything. Our soul is aware of everything about that individual, that soul. Here's the problem is the mind can only comprehend so much at once. And I think that's why we get those flashes. And we have to just act on that, not try to rationalize it, not even think about it. Just I saw this, I'm telling you about what they're sharing. Because the minute you try to like figure it out for yourself, that sort of communication goes, whoa, time out. Now your mind's in the way. Get your mind out of the way. What did they show you? What did you feel they want to say? Say it. It's just that quick.
Yeah, I do agree. Like you almost can't sometimes appreciate fully what's happening because you have to just go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And if you're too much in awe, because we're still in awe, we're like, that's so cool. And then monkey, the
Oh,
monkey
yeah.
mind, oh, no, we're over here now. Squirrel, right?
Squirrel.
We're like, that's so cool. I think we're left with the high vibrational feeling though of wow, that was so cool as you go into the next thing, or wow, this energy is so great. I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed. But sometimes you go, wow, I did all these things, or I'm not even aware of what I said. I'm
Yeah,
not even
most of the
aware of
time
what
I don't remember unless it's something that like just is like so profound. Like I'll remember bits and pieces over the years that just can't help. And it's the silly ones. I got to talk about this. The first time that a spirit, this was a young man that was killed in a motorcycle accident. He was like 25, and I still remember to this day, and this is years ago. But what stands out about him is I always ask the spirit person, what do you want your person to know? In this case, it was his mom. I just sent him a thought. What do you want her to know? What do you do to let her know you're around? I no sooner got that thought out of my mind, like, what do you do to let her know you're around? He's like, I fart. And I was like, what? And I had to stop and I was like, did you seriously just say that? And this is a group reading. I had to sit down because I was laughing so hard. I could not stop laughing. I was like, just give me a moment. And when I finally composed myself, I looked at the mom and I was like, look, I asked your son, what he lets you know, how does he let you know that he's around? And he says, without even a hesitation, he goes, I fart. Her jaw drops, right? And this look on her face is like, oh my God. And there was a coworker also there. She was like in the third row. She turns around. She's like, I knew it. She goes, I was in my cubicle at work the other day and I just smelled this sulfur smell out of nowhere. And nobody else could smell it. She goes, I knew it was him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's all these different stories. If it can be perfume, why can't it be a fart?
Exactly. I mean, and there was another one as a 16-year-old girl, same thing. She used to eat this kale diet and her mom, she said the same thing. She's like, oh my God, that girl's farts were just horrendous. She would eat this kale and blah, 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 blah. And it got her laughing. And I'm like, that's what they want. That's why they're doing this. They want you to remember these moments and just remember how to laugh again. Yes, it's a tragedy when we lose somebody, but they want us it's a reminder to enjoy the time we have here because it is so brief. Laugh about life. Don't take crap so serious, literally sometimes.
No, yeah, no, just it's great. It's great. I have not experienced that personally, but I'm now I'm open to it. Because I believe it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Sometimes you go, wow, what is that? But that one you can't miss. I
No.
can smell my mom's perfume, my mammy's perfume,
Oh, that's nice.
and someone says,
A-
I smell cigarettes.
And the thing is, here's the thing. when you have these experiences and you think of a person in that moment, that's that person. Don't ever try to talk yourself out of it or rationalize it. That's how spirit communicates with us. So when it's just out of nowhere, like you said, you smell it, your mammy's perfume. In that moment when you smell it, I guarantee you had an association in your mind that that's her. That's them letting you know they're there. That's how this works.
I believe it. Yeah. When I was first starting and I was working with like energy exercises and meditating, so it was a mixture of I started taking some classes to learn about how to sense and focus energy experiences that I was having, and also just talking with spirit and my guides on the side. When you don't know and you're just like, this is happening, so I'll show up and see what happens, right? So I finally got into a class, and that was with Lisa Williams, and that was 11 years ago, which is crazy. It was 11
Time
years ago.
just goes by so fast.
It really does. And I was truly like a baby medium. I was like, I'm having psychic experiences, I'm having mediumship experiences, but I don't know I'm a medium. Because I had never given a reading.
Yeah.
I'd never given a reading at that point, even though I did a lot of work and I was aware of a lot of things. Um, and so I was just like, okay, let's just try it. Let's just try it. And it's funny because it was advanced mediumship class that I got
Mhm.
into, even though I was found my way in. Found my way in. I was like, why am I here? I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So I knew there were so many signs where I had to do it, and I knew I was supposed to be there, but I was just like, have I made a mistake? Why have I put myself in this situation?
Absolutely
And
no mistakes.
right? And then so we did a lot of like prep work, like months and months of like homework and assignments as well. But we just were like, okay, we're doing an opening meditation, and then we're going into a reading. And I'm just like, okay, let's see how it goes. And it's funny because there was only one other person in class that had never given a reading before either. And we randomly were together. It wasn't
Mhm.
like we were put together. It was just like, find the person next to you and away you go. You know what I mean? So both of us were like, I don't know how this is supposed to go. And everyone
That's
else
the
was
best thing,
very
though.
experienced.
That's the best
Everyone else
thing.
was well experienced.
Yeah, when you don't have that misconception or that pre-existing thought about what it is, I think beginners, it's almost a race like the levels of development. Because I think a beginner who has no idea probably can do the best reading. Well, even over opposed an experienced medium, because we're in our minds sometimes where they have no idea. And if you just walk them through, like literally, I did this the first night of class when I taught a class. And it was like I didn't even get them a chance to introduce. I just picked somebody and said, "Hey, you're going to do a reading right now." And they're like, "Huh?" I said, "Right
Huh? What?
now, are you aware of a man or a woman?" And I said, "Don't even think about it. Say it." And they're like, "A man." Okay. Was he young or old when he passed? Old. What did he pass from? 4 things, 4 statements, all 4 of them hit because he didn't have chance to think about what was going on. I'm like, right there, you just proved to yourself that you were capable of communicating with spirit.
I
And now the
agree.
rest of your life, you're gonna try to keep your mind out of it.
You're gonna try because you're like, I think I know how to do it now, right? I love it. I'm just making sure I get some of the comments.
Yeah,
Um,
we appreciate everybody's comments. We do.
oh,
I'm trying
I
to read and talk at the same time.
we'll talk about some of the things that people said here in just a moment, and um yes. So exactly, because it's good to have no expectations and a blank mindset when you're dealing with energy, because
Yeah.
we don't know, and someone higher of understanding, like guides, loved ones who are in a different plane, vibrating higher than us, with literally a different awareness of time and
Mhm.
different senses and understandings of why we're all here, that just want to help us. They're saying, hey, we'll guide you. Well, you go, okay, I'm not gonna steer the ship. I'm not gonna steer the ship. I can't steer the ship. So, all right. So anyway, so I was just like, okay, let's just go. Let's just wing it. I'll just talk about what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was just like, this is so bullshit. You know, in my head, I'm just like, and I was just like, I see a boat, and I like, what is, I see a man. Is this your grandfather? Did he like to fish? Like he had a boat. Like it looks fancy. Did he have like money? And I'm just like, how does this sound? Like,
Yeah.
because the other person is like in the same boat as me, literally.
Literally.
Figuratively, I should say, yeah. And she's like, yeah, that's working. Keep going. And I'm like, really? I actually was like, seriously? You can take that? She's like, yeah, my grandfather had a boat. I'm like, huh?
Huh?
She's like, yeah, she's like, I think it's working, because she didn't know either. And I just keep going, and she's like, yeah, I can take that. I can take that. And she's like, good job. She's like, I guess I'll try it now. And then I'm just like, yeah, just describe what you see. And she's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll try it. And because this was practice, but not with another person prior.
Right.
Which
It's
is
crazy. It's
it's
crazy.
very strange if you come into advanced mediumship class in this predicament, but this is just how it was. And so she started going, I'm like, yeah, I can take those things. She's like, really? She's like, you're not just saying that? I'm like, yeah, I can take those things. She's like, I guess it's working. I guess this is how
Yeah.
you do it. And then we went on to the next, and both of us were just like, yeah, I guess it works that way. I can't believe it.
It's crazy. And I remember during a class, and then I feel we need to jump into readings because they're like
Yeah,
pulling
we
quotes.
gotta jump into
But
readings, yeah.
I was in this class, and I was like, you know what? And I just said this, matter of fact, with the student I was working with. I'm like, why in the heck? Spirit can show us like the most intricate details and tell us the most intricate ways of passing and blah blah blah. Why can't they just tell us their name? For instance, why can't I just say to this person, hey, my name's Mike, what's your name? Oh, my name's Bill, and blah blah blah. She's like, that's my dad's name, his name is Bill. And it's like, see, my mind was completely out of the way. What did Bill do? Stepped right in and said, hey, my name's Bill. I'm like, huh. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the intelligence of spirit.
It's the intelligence of spirit, and when it's natural, it works. It works. And not every single time have we gone into readings where we're like, wow, that was so easy, just like
Yeah.
the first time. That's not, no, but the spirit world will, I feel, when you're ready, they will make certain things intense or easy, because they're saying, yes, keep going.
Yep.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to be, on this type of trek, this direction. Yes, it's possible.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's start to open up the space for readings, because we could talk all day. I can't
Oh, yeah.
believe it's already the time it is right now. It
And I
feels
have
like it started.
yeah, and I have nowhere to go, so I'm letting you drive the boat. So it's up to you
Okay.
if you want to stay on longer. I'm good. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. But it seriously feels like we just started
I know.
5 minutes ago. I don't know
And
why.
I hopefully everybody's getting something out of this, because the point is, we're talking, but it's to hopefully help you realize that you do have these abilities. Everybody does. It's not just for the people that practice mediumship. So just know that, and know that you don't need a medium. That's my goal. If I could make mediums irrelevant, I would, because when you have the experience yourself, that's just something that you'll never forget. You will never forget it.
I agree. And everyone has the chance to experience that. That's why it's like, this is not just, oh, it's mediumship. It's mediumship. Everyone has the access to
Yep.
this. I feel like it's a human right.
Exactly.
And
It's who we are.
that's why I celebrate it. I'm like, wow, this is a human ability. That's how I feel about it. And I'm excited, not for the exclusivity, but for the actuality.
Exactly.
I want to say thank you really quick to Jennifer. Thank you. Jennifer's awesome. I absolutely love and adore Jennifer. Yes, just the more the merrier, right, Jennifer? Stacia, thank you. And Betty, Joni, Jeremiah. People are saying they're open, so we're going to switch into readings, everybody. Cheryl, Caleb, Christopher, thank you, thank you. Michael, would you like to start, or should I do the honors? Whatever you'd like to do.
Ladies first.
Okay.
You break the
All
ice.
right. Sure, ladies first. I'm going to put my attention on some readings. So everyone, I'm seeing your comment. If I don't click it for a second, just please know I will. My mind might be in another direction for a moment. Okay.
Nice to meet you
So,
too, Jennifer.
all right. So interesting. Okay, Jennifer, we're also open. We have a big question. Okay, we're here.
Go
Ask
for
your
it.
question. I feel like I can't divert, so I feel like you're supposed to ask the question, and Michael can jump in because I don't know everything about Jennifer, but I know some things about her. I've been
I'm
blessed
feeling like this
to read
crazy
for her
connection
before.
to animals for her. So Jennifer, I don't know if you connect with animals. It's like as soon as I read your name, there's something about like your connection with animals and pets.
They're big animal lovers. I can confirm about that.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer, if you have I'm just saying, if you have a question, because I'm going to you because you said we have a big question. So, girl, pop it down. Pop it down. And if you need a moment to pop it down, we'll go back to you. Okay. But as soon as I read that, I'm just like, oh, okay. So, I'm going to go to Daisy because she was in here in the beginning. Okay. There might be big news for the family. Okay. All right. We'll tap into that around a big move for some of us. Okay. All right. We'll tap into that. I guess. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of Daisy and then I'll pop back to you, Jennifer. Okay. All right. So I would love insight on health, career, or messages from my dad if possible. Thank you. Okay. So let me tune into your energy, Daisy. I feel like there is a mastery within your life that has come into play. And I feel like it's interesting, there's this mixture of intuition and health. So I'm seeing things like herbs or apothecary or things within jars. Okay. So I'm going to acknowledge some of uh, um, um, the integration that you already have with health and career for a second. So I feel like your mind is in this direction. So there's curiosity, there's interests. And so it's a matter of like, all right, I know some things already, but why am I having some disconnect from my body if I have so much awareness within my body and I have actually interests in herbs, interests in health things. So if you can understand, I just want to make sure I'm in your energy too as I continue to keep talking, Daisy. So if you understand what I'm saying, please tell me yes, please tell me no. And I feel like there's been a lot of emphasis on business. There's been a lot of emphasis on taking care of self. So I love that. It's just about growing your understanding of now I look over here and now I look over there. That doesn't mean I'm not taking care of myself. It just means I need something different. So I'm aware that I have a lot of focus and it's like you're very responsible. So I feel like you're very responsible, and since you're so responsible, it's just almost sometimes it's like, why is it not working? Okay. And it's just like, look somewhere different, okay? There's so many places to look in life, and I feel like there needs to be some understanding about what is it? I keep seeing it's like there's like this new I'm gonna see the word therapy, but it's not like therapy, go to a therapist, even though I have no problem with that. And if that's needed, cool. Um, I'm seeing like there's some type of healing therapy that's needed because I keep seeing like my feet stepping into water and it was like, this is what my body needed. This is like this kind of therapy. So it's almost like your body is lacking mineral support. Your body is lacking what it needs foundationally to have energy. Okay. So I would really want to look into some minerals or something that introduces something in your body. It's almost like something to uptake physically in your body rather than just ingesting, which I'm sure that would help too. I also feel, and Michael, if you get anything, because I'm going to keep expanding, so I'll say one more thing, and then if you want, you can say whatever comes, and then you can send it back. But I also feel like there's been an acknowledgement to like a healing ceremony. So I'm seeing like feathers and sage. And so the intention of spirit is very strong, and they've been holding you up when you've been tired. They've been holding you up. When you're like, I need more alignment, spirit. But this is now a calling to, when someone tells you about a random resource or therapy, try it out. Because spirit's like, there's a couple things we're going to send you that are right in front of you that you've already heard about. It's like, try them. You have to trial and error, because this is a body thing. Spirit is helping you. So this is a body thing. All right. So I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it over to you for a second if you're picking up.
Yeah, Daisy. So I'm just throwing out there what I've been feeling. So one, I feel it's like because you brought up business, Kelly, but I feel with Daisy, it's like you're almost talking yourself out of things. It's like I feel it's like you have this idea and it's immediately met with the ego. Should I do this? No, that won't work for me. And I got to say this, you can be perfectly honest. When Kelly was talking, I kept feeling Dad's presence. So don't assume this is him. I just want to give you what I was feeling. With this man, I felt like his passing, it was sudden, like unexpected. And I had this feeling like it's almost like he was taking responsibility for maybe some of the ways you think about yourself, in the way that he makes me feel like he could have been overcritical. Does that make sense at all, Daisy? And then I want to go on to some other things I felt.
So Daisy, if you can understand this about like your father, let us know. I feel like if you can understand this, Daisy, there's a connection to like father being a friend. Even though father struggled with being self-critical, father was a friend, and there was a good relationship with father. She said she can take all that with passing. So you were on a roll there, Michael.
He kept pointing out his left arm. For some reason, he had my attention on his left arm, and he was showing me this image of a ladder and a roof.
She's saying yes, exactly.
Because he's also making me feel like he had a sense of this. He's trying to get me to laugh. So I don't know if he had an incident where he fell. And it's like people warned him, don't do that. Don't do that. That's the kind of feeling that comes with this. I don't know if that's a memory he's trying to share. But he kept pointing to his left arm, and then he showed me those images. So I don't know. Not falling, but oh, you did. Okay, good.
LOL, yes, humor.
Okay. I'm just asking real quick what he wants to share with, and I understand the left arm. Okay, good. I'm just asking really quick. It's like, what do you want to say to Daisy? So he's almost like, tell her I love her. I know that's like, well, of course he would say that, but I think there's something behind that of why he says this. Maybe he didn't say it often enough, but he's like, tell her I love her. And he just sent me this thought. You made the right decision with a relationship. I don't want to go into what that means. I'm just going to give it to you. Hopefully you understand what he's saying, but he's like, you made the right decision with this relationship. And I'll leave it at that, Daisy.
And then let us know if you can understand that, Daisy. I don't know, when you put like the left arm up, again, I'm not sure like how accurate this I could, because we know some things and then we're not sure about other things. But I have a cuff on, and all of a sudden I saw like a bracelet or cuff when you put your hand up. And so that would lead me to believe that there is like a creativity with this man, and this would be your father. And he would have had appreciation for the unusual, and he would have had appreciation for like more of the offbeat path. And so I feel like that's something that he encouraged within you, to be like your own self, and it helped you to like be really strong at times, with telling people what you liked and what you didn't like. Oh my God, yes, he wore a cuff. Interesting. Awesome. That's, you don't know a lot of men that wear cuffs, but that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
kudos to dad. I love cuffs. I think it's very stylish. And then also I felt like that within the relationship. He was talking about kudos with the relationship with her partner. And also I feel like it was like kudos with Daisy for trying at times to go like above and beyond with people, because I think Daisy, sometimes we want to save people. And so he's acknowledging your good heart, and you've created boundaries since that time, but you do have good instincts with how to deal with people, as long as you go, okay, I know my limits. But he wants to acknowledge like your big heart. And I don't know what this is either, but all of a sudden I saw it was like a necklace, I think, and it was like a blue terminated quartz. But it reminded me of like aquamarine, like the colors of aquamarine, or maybe actually is a large piece of aquamarine, which would be pretty special. And so you can take that for maybe the relationship things that I was talking about. And it was just a testament of, one, you might actually have one of those things and it might be special. That's why it's being acknowledged. Or it might be the metaphoric message of like, it's time to use your voice again. Like, you've been using your voice, you've been sharing, but there's this next part of you that, how can I put it? I feel like dad is making me aware of, that you go through, and my own psychic impression is making me aware of. So I'm in psychic primarily, but dad led me to this area, that you go through like these bouts of being like very expressive and very creative, and then like we shut down a little bit, and you're aware of this, and sometimes you're like, well, where's the consistency? I'm on my path, I'm doing well, but all of a sudden I want to like cope, and I have these ups and downs. And so he's just talking about like, the more you put yourself out there within the other people will help you, because you've helped so many. So let it come back to you. And so he's talking about that with health. Let people help you. Let people show you something that you haven't been able to see, to help heal and balance your energy. And also put yourself out there, and the way will be shown. So he wants you to do another class. He wants you to do another circle. He wants you to do another sharing. He's like, even if you're a little bit overwhelmed, he's like, it'll give you much more than otherwise. And I'm just going to say it like that. Okay. I'm just going to say it like that.
I got to throw out the August birthday, because I keep seeing August 2nd, which is my birthday. So this is why it's weird. But I feel I need to acknowledge the August birthday around you, Daisy. And I was also aware of a son that was born after your dad's passing. I don't know if that's connected to you, but I'll leave you with that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Daisy. And yes, please go easy on yourself. Dad's saying some of this work is going to continue to heal and let you meet the right people. So as you're helped, you will be helped, and have some trust and faith within that, with the different things that you try, because you go, oh, someone's doing that. Let me try that. Oh, someone just gave me this piece of advice. Let me just try it. And don't be afraid to, again, put your time and resources to something that might work. It's going to lead you down the right path. That's all. I want to continue to say that. She says, I am September 2nd.
Oh, okay.
I am September 2nd. So it's close to the Leo. So she's a Virgo, but was dad a Leo?
I kept seeing August, like August.
Is there a connection to dad with August? I feel like they're encouraging the Leo energy for her. That's for sure. So Daisy, if you understand, let us know. We're gonna pop around. She said, "Thank you so much. My mom is close to August. My
Yeah.
mom is
I
close to
might be
August."
moving on to somebody else. Yeah, because someone's like showing me the August birthday. So I don't want to just throw it out there though, because I know there's people I can just connect with that. So I don't know where I'm at right now. Um, Interesting.
Well, I think it's the Leo energy,
Is it?
girl. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's something else, but like, I'm just saying that's another message. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's another message on top of it. I'm like, embrace the Leo. Oh, wait. And then she said, ah, ha, ha, ha. She
Yes,
said,
there is
yes,
one.
there is one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. She knows a Leo connection. She said, my
Okay.
bad. There you go.
That's okay.
She said, for another person in spirit. Okay.
Okay. Because I
Yes.
was like, all righty.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much, Daisy. And then Jennifer, she was mentioning her question. It was up top. Where is it? Because we said we're gonna go. She said
yeah.
there might be big news for the family about a big move for some of us. And I think that I'm just making sure she didn't say anything else. I think that's it. So she wants to look into that energy of the move and what is going on. Okay. So can you, Jennifer, if you're in the house, can you give me, you don't have to give me your year, but can you give me your month and your day? I really like to look at that for people for moves or big events, but I'm going to just talk about how I feel. And please, Michael, if you get anything. Okay. Oh, she gave me 5. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. I'm just doing a little bit math here for a second. Okay. And okay. Yep. So you would be in a 3. And we're in. Okay. So what's going on right now in this month for you and would be to, so, and for some other birthdays. Oh, interesting. She's giving me other people's interesting. So we can get really technical here really quick. Interesting. And the last one I'm going to do really quick is, all right. Okay. So there's interesting. So for you, I'm just going to focus on you for a second. There are opportunities. All right. You are in a 3-year, and that's all about opportunities. So it could be opportunities of what people are giving you from work, opportunities for yourself to learn. But 3 is a very social and expansive number. You are in a month right now of 9, and that is having things come to a close, wrapping things up. So it's looking at family, it's looking at projects and saying, okay, how do I need to look at this to move forward? So there's going to be like this busyness, like in a speed to the month, but it's all about like, okay, I got to get this under control. I got to get this under wraps. For some of the other people in the family that you gave me for a second, for the 217, I'm aware of who the 217 is. I'm aware of the other number, but so I won't use names. But for the 217, it is a year of endings. It is a year of endings. And so there could be a decision going on with what you want to do with school, or how you want to kind of lean into a different facets of things within sometimes friendships or interests. But there's something that has to change. There's something that has to transform. Okay. And you have to say goodbye to certain things and rise to this kind of new identity that you're creating for yourself that works for you better. And then the other family member, this is a time to actually go within, and there's going to be like situations where the same old kind of falls apart. Okay. So it's like this is a year of self-reflection and for really coming into their own and being okay that things aren't just moving. This child needs to accept things to be a little slower paced for things to make sense for them and for them to feel fulfilled where they are, even if there's a young age involved. Okay, so the number one thing I'm going to give this over to Michael Christopher, because forgive me, I'm talking so much. Thank you for your patience.
No, go, because I don't do much with the future and like numerology, so this is like fascinating to me. So I'm watching like with everybody else going, wow, this is cool.
I wanted to acknowledge all the vibrations, so I had to acknowledge 3 vibrations really quick.
Yeah, no,
so
this is awesome.
That took like a second. You said it wouldn't be me though. It would be, the big change for, you'd say the big change for them. Okay, well, okay, interesting, because right, for 3, it's about opportunity and social, and for the other 2 that you mentioned, it's about reemergence of a new identity, because what doesn't work, remember I was talking about for both of them, what has worked before does not now work. Okay, so for 217, it's about a huge change. If they want to make it, it will bode well. And for the 224, it's about trying something different. But if they really, really want it, it's a good fit, because it's like, what do they really want? Not just what's around them and the same old. And, I'm going through the motions and I'm glad I'm so busy. No, take a step back. What do you really want? Is this a good fit for you? But the 217, I get like a open energy, new energy, whether it's this or something else. Yes, that feels very good. So I'm handing it over.
Oh no, I got 3.
That's the one.
I can't even talk. I'm sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Jennifer, I have 3 piles of cards. So there's left, center, and right. Tell me what pile you're pulled to. I want to see. I'm just curious to see what happens here. So either left, center, or right. I want to pull a card for you. And if you say, okay, right. Wow. So I don't know if this jives with everything you were just saying, but fulfillment of wishes. And then number 9. I don't know why I'm being drawn to talk about this, but you can see right here, he's holding what looks to me to be like scrolls. I'm just going to go with this. So you're not going to hurt my feelings if this doesn't make sense to you. But there's something I need to talk about, is either like continuing some kind of like personal development, whether it be education, formal education. I just feel like this something about your creativity has been stifled by life. And it's like a reminder, you got to bounce back to something that brings you joy and fulfillment. I feel it's like you put your attention on everybody else. It's time for you to remember that you have to do things for you. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it's just a reminder from your guides. It's like, whoa, take a time out, focused on you.
I feel like it's an adventure. It's an adventure. And if the adventure doesn't work, we always have home. We always have another adventure waiting for us in the queue. And I feel like being open to adventures is a good thing. That's the number one. It's like, I want to pluck you out of what's going on right now, and I want to mix things up, and this might be just what the doctor ordered, no pun intended. So I have perky interest in it, and I like the idea. And it doesn't have to be for extended periods of time in every situation. I don't know about this one, but I feel like there's future like trips involved where you could modify the time, if that was a variable of uncomfortability. But I like where this is going. I like where this is going, and this could be a slam dunk hit. If not, there's something to me like that absolutely coming up. And so that's why I feel so. I'm just being honest. It feels very good, and I feel like this is needed in some way.
Can I just throw one more thing out, Jennifer? And again, this may be a little personal, so you don't have to answer in the comments if you don't want to. I feel like I need to talk about something from like your upbringing. So during the time of your adolescence into school and beyond, but there was something that I'm feeling that you had to overcome as far as like, I don't want to call it a learning disability, because it's like they're giving it to me in a reference that I can understand. I was not quick at picking things up, and I always felt bad about that through my life. I literally went to college to get my diploma out of spite because of what people told me during my upbringing. It's like, your school's not for you. And there's something in that. I just had to do it just to prove people wrong. But I don't know if this makes sense, but I just feel it's like something that you had to overcome, but you had the courage to keep going. I just feel it's like I need to say congratulations. So again, you don't have to be kind just to say, yep, that makes sense. If it fits, great. If it doesn't, that's cool too.
She said, my parents didn't want me to go to college. And she says, "Aw, thanks." And
Okay.
I do feel like there's like some connection to Jennifer and the 217 of like overcoming things regarding like schooling and learning. So I think there's like something. And she said, my parents didn't want, oh, there you go. My parents didn't want me to go to college, so I became a PhD. That's awesome.
Awesome. I met somebody else who went to school out of spite. No, I'm just kidding. But
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the best thing you can do. Like, I'm gonna really do it. That's fantastic. I can, she's like almost. I don't know if this is how can I put this? I keep getting like a message in my head. I don't know. I know some things about Jennifer. That's why I'm saying like we have to acknowledge what we know, and we acknowledge what we don't know. So I'm very clear about it. But I keep like regarding with the 217 and what you were asking. I don't know if this is directly correlated, but I feel like it's a true future trip that is good and it's needed and it will provide healing and like a break in a way. I keep hearing go to Italy, go to Italy, go to Italy, go to Italy, go to Italy. 217 is Massimo. Oh, interesting. Why was I thinking it was I was thinking 217 was another person, and she said, stop. But yeah, I keep hearing go to Italy, go to Italy, go to Italy, go to Italy. So, and this is with 27. She knows. Okay, she's like, I know. Okay, okay. So she understands the go to Italy connection. But I feel like there's like a lot of healing and it's important. So I'm going to deliver the message, and I'm not going to get it mixed up because I was thinking it was 217. I thought 217 was somebody else. So now I don't know if that's for Massimo or the other person I was thinking about, because I'll only say names if you give me names in the chat. Okay. Maybe a job offer for Florence, Italy, and Massimo. Very, very cool. Very, 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 very cool. Well, whoever it applies for, whoever in the family, you got to go to Italy sometimes, and it feels good. And I feel like it'd be very good for learning in the vehicle of learning in school and expansion. So that could apply to Massimo. That could apply to someone else in the family. I just want to make sure that message gets out there. And yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, and Alex. And I feel like Alex in Italy connection. Correct. And Massimo would absolutely help facilitate that. So I like the idea. I think regardless of what happens, I do think Alex is going to be in Italy for extended period of time, and that will help, and that will be in her teenage life. So yeah, whether exchange or being with him, So she says, thank you so much.
That was awesome. Courtney, I just want to say thanks. I was reading your comments. I appreciate that, Courtney. Yeah. I was just thinking if I had anything else, but no. It just kind of went whoop.
Wherever you want to go, I picked 2. So because I picked them at the same time. I was like, okay, we're gonna go here, then we're gonna go here. So you get to choose where you want to go. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
I'm just kind of
And while you're choosing, I'm just going to say hi to everybody. Hello, Christina. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, John. Mary. These are all the people I haven't said hello to, because hello to everyone who's with us still. Hello, Season. Hello, Jessie Cat. Hello, Jessie Cat. And forgive me if I'm not getting all the names as I'm scrolling up, but hello to everyone coming on in. Hello. And of course to everyone who is still with us. Stacia and everyone. Jennifer, Lisa. I don't know if I said hello to Lisa. Hello.
Let's see.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Thank you.
Yes, hello, thank you. I'm going to pull a card for Jessica. Jessica. Do you have a question about anything?
I think she did. Let me scroll up. Oh, and hello to Anne. Hi, Anne Marie. Where is Jessie Cat's question? There we go. Here we go. Can I have some guidance, please? She popped on her numbers. She was open to, I think, general guidance too. Jessie Cat, if you're in the house, please pop down your question or anything that is coming up. Okay, cool. She said just I would love some guidance or cards, please. Thank you, guys.
And interesting, because as soon as I connected to Jessica, I'm like feeling into trying to do psychic, and I have a woman stepping forward. I'm going to see if she is connected to you. Right away, this feels like a mom, but not mom. So I feel this woman was like either I feel grandmother, but she's making me feel like a very strong, like role model mother figure for you. I also feel she would have passed from cancer. That's what this woman is making me feel. So I don't know if she's related to you, Jessica.
She said my grandma.
Like, was she like mom? Because that's what she's making me feel like. She steps forward and makes me feel mom. Cancer is your aunt. So they may be here both together. I mean, obviously, everybody you're connected with. And where's the March connection? Because I'm seeing the month of March. And I feel it's a birthday, but I just feel March I need to talk about. I need to talk about the teacher. So can you understand the teacher? You think that's a birthday? Okay. I just want to see if the teacher makes sense, the reference to teacher. No? Okay. No. Let me just see. I'm going to try to separate aunt from grandmother. I'm going to see who steps forward for you. Interesting, Jessica. So I'm getting pulled to your aunt. She wants me to talk about an experience that you had. She keeps showing me like an experience. Do you recall having like an experience, maybe not even with her, but with somebody who had passed? And she's talking about the person that wasn't there when she passed that's still carrying this with them. With her for sure. Okay.
She's the whole reason why I'm doing this.
Okay, because that's like because I asked it in my mind, I'm like, okay, what do you want her to know? What do you want me to say? So she's bringing this up for a reason. I'm sorry, not sorry, but Jessica, it's funny because she points at Kelly and says, do what she does. And it's around numerology. I don't know if she's highlight.
That's cool. That's cool.
Because I don't know if that's something you're interested in, but she's like pointing towards Kelly. It's almost like do what she does. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, I think there's something about that. Like she needs to find like some symbology to help her like work with the energy actively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel she's like grasping. Jessica, are you like, I mean, obviously, if this is new for you, it's like, I don't even know where to begin. That's the feeling your aunt gives me. But she's like holding up her finger. She's like, think of the first thing that you have the most interest in. That's your soul speaking to you. That's where you begin. And there's something, yeah, she keeps showing me numbers, like numbers.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
If you're interested in Jessica, I'm happy to help. I love it. I love it. Like she says, I do mediumship. I love mediumship.
Okay.
But I think there's a vehicle with symbology that you're talking about because I did mediumship and psychic for a long time, and all of a sudden it was like they were pushing me out of mediumship into psychic, and they're just like, no, you need to go this direction. You need to go this direction. I'm just like, and then it was like they started changing it too, where it's just like I needed numerology to be a part of it for it to
Mhm.
continue to flow. And so it's like I needed another aspect of it to, or she needs another aspect of it to let her mediumship flow or her psychic flow. Because I feel what you're saying, and I'm just like, yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
vehicle of what I needed.
Can you understand the name Jean at all? Uh, Sometimes I randomly get names associated with either the past or someone here in the living, but I was hearing the name Jean. Um, Let me see what else she wants to say real quick. Um, she showed me an image of a young boy. So I don't know if you have a son, but she wants me to talk about the child. I'll say child. And the child's having these experiences. I know this is random as all can be, but that's
No, I
she
think you're
wants me
right.
to.
I think you're right on the money. I think she's typing.
Oh, okay.
She said, I have a son.
Okay. Because your aunt is talking about these experiences that he is having as well. And it's almost like encourage that is what she is. I feel she wants me to talk about you encouraging him to understand it.
And she has her first grandchild.
Okay.
That's through, I guess, the grandma, through
Okay.
grandma.
But yeah, I don't know if you could place the name Gene at all, but again, it was just thrown out there.
She says, "Yes, I do. Do you understand the name Jean? I think she understands the son being intuitive.
Okay.
So
Readings through Facebook Live are so interesting because of the comments. It goes a lot quicker when I'm able to talk to the person. So it's weird. It's like
I know
I got to pause.
I
um,
would I would trust. I would just keep going, and then you just know,
his name
you
is
just
Jay something. Okay,
okay.
okay, because that's what I was seeing the Gene with a J. So let me just see what else. I always like to leave you with a message, Jay. I think. Okay, let me just thank you for the flowers. I just asked, like, what do you want to say? And I just instantly heard, thank you for the flowers. So just take this as a quick hello from your aunt and your grandmother. And thank you for being open. I know you asked a guidance question. I don't know if that came in an answer anywhere in that message, but I don't know.
Hey everybody. Hey everyone. Everyone's saying hi. Um, Everyone's saying hi. Hey Nancy. Hello. Hey Debbie. I'm just making sure I acknowledge everybody coming on in. Hi Crystal. And I think you did answer because she was asking about guidance and readings and teachings and understanding and getting more into symbology within her work maybe too. That feels right. That feels right. She said, okay. Yes, I understand. I keep seeing like your grandma and your aunt standing together, and I feel like there's acknowledgement of someone had a dog. If you can if you can acknowledge like a larger dog, it could have, I don't know if it's a lab or a golden retriever. I'm just seeing like this big black nose, and it's like a friendly dog. But someone has the dog. And there was acknowledgement earlier to someone. Someone has grandma's rings. It could be you, but it was like, I have the rings. I have the rings. So that was kind of interesting. But can you understand that? Like it's like there's with your aunts, can you acknowledge that there was brothers in the family for aunt? So like aunt growing up, I don't know if you know how she grew up, but she was a little bit like of a town boy, or she was like just more asserted in her masculine energy with aunt, if you can understand that. And so I'm just waiting for Jessie Cat. But I do feel like there is an acknowledgement, and because I was feeling what Michael was feeling for like teacher, and it was just like, I feel like that Jessie Cat has capacity to teach in multiple different areas. Like I feel like she can teach eventually if she wants to within psychic mediumship. I feel like, and she can teach with what she does with like her artistic side. I feel like she can hold down as soon, because I feel like she wants it, but I feel like there's a lot of emotions and energy bubbling up. But as soon as she finds kind of some grounding and she goes, I want to do this, even though like, how am I going to do this? I feel like that there is a chance to actually ground energy for a lot of other people. So it's about coming into the confidence, but I feel like teacher, like finding a teacher is very helpful, but also becoming a teacher with how she guides others in life. She said, thanks guys, everything means a lot to me, but I think she's talking about my uncle brothers. So you're talking, okay, so can you understand aunt having brothers, and can you understand that aunt growing up was a little bit more of a town boy? If you can understand that, let me know. If not, just let me know, because I see grandma and aunt sitting next to each other, and they're giving me certain impressions.
I think she was a funny person too, because she's like, I don't know, the meme, like, hold my beer, I'll be right back. She's making me feel like that was her. It's like, yeah, watch this. I don't know if that was her personality. I'm just sitting here laughing. I don't know why, but she's making me feel like, yeah, you can do that, so can I.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like something about aunt needs to be acknowledged. I really do. You said, I had a dream about my grandmother today, which is weird. LOL, she's here. Boom. Yes, my aunt was funny, she says, but yes, my aunt was funny. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting like she was in her masculine, but I'm just seeing aunt in a pantsuit, and I feel like aunt is very easygoing, and I feel like aunt has assertive energy, and she's social, and she's open, and she's willing to come over to grandma. And it's really, really interesting about that, because it's almost like I'm aware of like there's this disconnect between grandma and aunt, and it's almost like is aunt from a different part of the family, or did mom and aunt just have like distance, even though aunt's very easygoing at times? Because there's something about that. She loved her pantsuits. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
I
But
was
like,
feeling that too, Kelly.
I'm glad. I was like, what does
the
that mean? But it's literal pantsuits.
Oh, no, I meant about the Discord or something, because I just felt her say, like, she's probably surprised we're here together. That just came through as a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about like when they're coming through. Yeah, she said, yes, separate grandma, that's her daughter. Okay, they're from different sides of the family, because I'm like, it's like the separation feeling of it's not quite right. Okay, got it. So they're from different sides of the family. Thank you. And so, but aunt's really outgoing, and she's like, I'm here too. So they're acknowledging like we're still coming in as family, even though there was that little thing that we had to mention. And so it's because she's daughter-in-law. Okay, thank you. The uncle is the brother of my dad. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And so everyone's loving up on there in heaven. Like they're just like, we're here to support you. We're here to support you. And I feel like grandma is inviting you to like just enjoy life. She's like, I don't know. This is what she's saying. It sounds weird. She's like, be a woman. I bet she says it like with, she's like, be a woman, enjoy being a woman. She's like, flash who you are, and she's like, flash that for your husband, flash that for other people. She's like, be in your enjoy being your power. So she's like acknowledging like the like sensuality, and she's acknowledging like just you enjoying this age within your life and saying, I'm here. Let me go and enjoy that and not be so overwhelmed, because there's so many responsibilities in life, and you're a mom, and that's part of being a woman. She's like, enjoy being a woman. So she wants the joy, and she wants you to have some ease because of that joy. Okay. And I feel like grandma had style. I don't know how other way to put it, but I'm just seeing gold jewelry, and she kind of had this flair at some times where she was in her feminine power. So that she's passing on to you. Enjoy being a woman. I just keep seeing it like that. Okay. She's like, make me laugh too. But she's graceful because it's like, I'm putting my, right? She has this grace about her. So she's like, you're for me. She's like, you're for me. You can have that. Embrace it. Do it. You got power, girl. Okay. So that
I just pulled this really quick for her. So positive movement forward for you, Jessica. And it's weird. I'll just say this real quick and then I'll stop talking. I don't know if it shows up, but there's a gull right there. And the lady is, I was going to say, piloting the boat. But what I feel from this, follow your heart. That's what it's saying. It's like, that's your inner guidance. It'll never lead you astray. So just follow your feeling. And I'll stop, because I could go on and on and on and on too.
She's like, no,
don't stop talking.
She's like, I'm into it. No, keep going. Thank you, Grace. Grace says, great energy. Thank you so much for being here. Phyllis, this is so beautiful. And we've gotten so much love from people. I wanted to acknowledge that, so you see that, Michael, too. Because
thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all the comments. Since I'm the one that's clicking sometimes when I'm reading. I'm not able to put everything up on the screen. So please know that you've been seen, and we love your love. And I want Michael to see all the love that's been coming from Nicole and Christina. I'm making sure that I acknowledge all the names that we haven't acknowledged yet. So thank you, everyone. Is there any quick card that you want to pull for who's ever in the house as we wrap up today?
Yeah, I'll do a collective card.
You can do collective card. You can go to whoever one you want. It's dealer's choice.
It's weird because I'm sitting here shuffling. My guides are like, you don't need a card. So I'm putting it down. It's like, my guides are like straightforward with me because that's the only thing I understand. So they're like, put the cards down. Nobody has the right to tell you who you are and who you are not. You are in charge of your life, and only you. It's like, this is what my guides are like. This is like a just from them. We're often influenced by other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions about who we should be and what we should be doing. We need to stop that mindset. We need to change that mindset. But they're reminding me too that people do it because they feel they're doing what's best for you. But sometimes we take that to heart. It took me mid-40s till I figured out I got to stop listening to other people and do my own thing. So I think it's just a gentle reminder that don't ever be afraid to follow your heart. There's a reason you have that feeling about something and a calling towards something. And if it persists, it's there for a reason. Here's something else. It doesn't always have to be connected to money, right? We have to do things for the joy of it. And they're reminding me when we were children and playing outside playing, I can never remember a time where I was thinking about anything other than being in that moment and just playing. It's like time stops when you're just enjoying what you're doing. So I think it's just a reminder that we just need to remember how to play. So I know that was probably a lot of messages all in one, but I just rolled with it. So hopefully you can take something out of that for yourselves.
However it fits. It's a group message. I want to pull a card really quickly for Elizabeth because she's been in here since the beginning. Please, anyone who's coming in now, we go live. Michael Christopher is live every week on his channel, and let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so either my website, michaelchristophermedium.com, my YouTube channel, and my Facebook page, Michael Christopher Evidential-Medium. So yeah, I do a lot of surprise lives too, because I'm just impulsive that way, where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go live, give people like 5 minutes notice, and like, here I am. So, but I am scheduled every other Sunday, and all that information's on my website.
Absolutely.
Thank
Please
you.
check him out. And he goes live. You go with Jennifer.
We do a
Jennifer,
lot together. Yeah, we've been working together for like
so
5 years or something like that. It's crazy.
So a lot of wonderful opportunities. And then I'm live every Wednesday and Friday, one of the two or both. So please catch me there for interviews and readings. But I want to pull a card for, where were you? My goodness. Elizabeth. Okay. Oh, you got the health card. Okay. And these are from my deck. I just was inspired to make index cards one day, and they feel so good to me, so I use them even though they're
Nice.
quite fun looking. So I'm getting the health card for you, Elizabeth, and that is really to focus on how your body feels, and not just because you have to go do things that you think within your logical mind, well, it's time for a checkup, it's time for this, it's time for that. I really feel like your body has been giving you cues. Like, so it's like my shoulder has been, it's like a little bit like, what is that kind of feeling? It's like, I want to say numb, but it's almost like a hollow feeling, like, or a dull feel. That's the word, dull feeling. There's like a dull feeling within my shoulder. And so I'm feeling like with mobility, you want to acknowledge what's going on with your body and work with that. And also, if you feel like this is not an easy thing to work with, to get, thank you for understanding, to get some additional help, because we want life to feel like, okay, my body feels good, I feel good. And so I have, my energy load a little higher because I feel vibrant, and I feel like there's some days where body feels out of whack. Like, so I'm aware stomach feels out of whack, or even I'm just going to give you the general area since we're on a live area below the stomach area. It can be out of whack. And so I'm getting like kind of various symptoms in my body at different times. And also I feel like a weakness in my legs sometimes. Okay. So I feel like there's a lot of little pings, and there's a way where I can interact with my body, work with my body, listen to my body, and come out stronger and feeling like, yeah, that got taken care of. Like, I'm a warrior. That got taken care of. So, and also to slow down. So the last thing I want to say too is, because I could go on and on. So thank you so much for everybody listening to me. But Elizabeth, what I also want to say is refocus the mind. So that is meditation, slowing things down to assess things further within the body. Because some of these things they come up and they go. So you go, I'm fine. They come up and they go, so I'm fine. So to really relax and associate and go, actually, it's lingering somewhere, even though it's not a huge problem. So listen to your body. You're like, yes, hate being a woman waiting for surgery again as they messed up. And I got, yeah. So that was the area that I was talking about. Thank you for understanding. So continue to do things to heal, and it doesn't have to be from doctor. And also, when you feel you get some notifications, go to doctor. So it's about doing things for yourself, and also communicating with those that can help. It's but listen to your body, take care of your body. And there's many, many different ways to work with your body. Listen to it. It will let you know. I feel like that comes in really loud and clear, and I will give that to you. But go to the doctor as well. The doctor will help. Thank you. Thank you. It's like the dual message of go to the doctor, but do things for yourself. I feel like I need to like get that out to her like hardcore. So I'm going to give you love. I'm going to give you love, walking and seeing birds. Yes, yes, refocusing the mind, refocusing the mind. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us today. Is there any final thing that you want to say as we pop off, Michael Christopher?
It's real quick to Elizabeth. The whole time you were talking, I don't know where this came from, Elizabeth, but I'm just going to throw it out there. My guides are like talking to your guides. This is weird, but they're saying to you, there's nothing you could have done about this passing. I feel there's either guilt being carried around someone's passing, but they're just want me to say there's nothing that could have been done. So if that connects with you, take it. If not, that's fine. But it was just like overwhelming. I needed to say that. And I will leave it with that.
Mammy. I love it. Saying
oh.
Mammy, she understands the message. She understands the message.
Okay. Wow. Because I was like, my ears were ringing. I'm like, I had to say this. So I'm glad you connected with that. Let the guilt go. Let the guilt go. There's nothing you could have done.
Yeah. And I feel like, Mammy's been visiting and she's sending love. She's sending so much love. So this is all about, she's been thinking about her. I think you hit it right on the head. Gosh, I can't believe I could go another hour with
God.
you.
I know, it's crazy.
I can't believe what time it is. I'm just like, so everybody, thank you so much. I'm sorry that we're almost wrapping it up kind of quickly because we're aware of the time, but it's literally,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's felt like 20 minutes with you here today.
It's like refreshed too. I was literally so tired before. Now I'm like energized.
It's the fountain of youth mediumship. Sometimes it really is. So we're gonna say thank you to everybody really quick.
Thank you so much.
Let's popping down the thank yous. Mammy went to Friday with a water infection on past months. Oh my goodness. Oh my
just know that she's with you. And again, that was her just impressing upon you. There's nothing you could have done. So you need to let that go. That's from her. One more thing, because she's making me feel like,
I'm like, no,
oh my God, she's coming through with a sense of humor. She's like, I am so glad to be out of my body. That's what the thought she just sent me. So it's just like, you need to stop worrying about me. She goes, I am so glad to be out of that body. The freedom that she feels now is just like, woof. She's in her youth again. That's how she wants you to think of her. So I'll leave you with that.
It's a lot of love from the spirit world. She came in for a reason. I felt like I was going to do collective. I'm like, we have to go to Elizabeth, and you came in with the mediumship. So please know that Mammy sends her love, and it all happens for a reason. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Joni. We will see you again, and this is so much fun. I'm sure we'll be hopping on again with each other. Thank you, Jacqueline. Take care, everybody. Please go with love, luck, and light, and don't forget to live. I will see you next week. Catch Michael Christopher on his channel as well. We will see you soon in one way or another.
Bye everybody.
Bye.